Morning, everybody. Today is May 2nd, 2021 of our home build project. I believe we are on day 13. You can see that we've made quite a bit of progress here. So yesterday ran out of batteries. I left the batteries for my GoPro back at home. Love my GoPro. It takes great quality shots. It's the Hero 8. But I got the pad all leveled, compacted, and today I'm gonna check some grade, make sure our shots are good, everything's the right elevation. Had my beautiful wife yesterday helping me. It's so much easier when you have two people. And I tried hooking up the laser to the excavator itself. You can kind of see the 2x4 I had clamped to the arm. It was just kind of a little more difficult. That second person just makes things so much easier. So I'm going to show you how to check grade and establish grade on your linker rod, or in fact it could be any rod really, even if it's just 2x2. But so I'm going to check the grade. If there's anywhere that's high I need to scratch, pull it out. Also I'm going to rig up this plate compactor, and I'm gonna compact this edge right here so it's nice and tight, because this step right here I want to make sure it's tight, nothing sloughs off. And I'm also going to check that it is in fact in line, because I have a feeling that there's a little section right here I might need to bring the excavator down, dig that out, and then get it back out. And of course it'll tear up the ground just a little bit, but if everything looks good, which maybe it will, but I'm pretty sure there's a section right here I'm gonna have to carve out just a little bit. But using my batter boards and string lines, I'll measure over. Also plan on putting a couple hubs in so I know where my building corners are and that sort of thing. So all the rock that came out of here, so I had quite a bit of excess, a lot more than I was anticipating or expecting. So just kind of in a way a good blessing in disguise. But I was able to throw all the excess 3/4 minus onto the driveway here. So tomorrow I have let's see, 3 tandem truckloads coming. I'll probably still keep all 3, but this area should take about 1 truck and trailer, real close to it anyhow. And the other is gonna go right up at the entryway. I'll clean that up there, so I can fine tune that so it's a little cleaner coming in and off the property. And then that third one I'm gonna probably end up keeping, because some of that gravel I'm gonna dig for the septic system here. So that'll go on the bottom of the septic, as well as a little bit of backfill. So things to come. That's what I'm doing today, digging the septic, a little more compacting, checking grade. Hopefully I can get the wife and kids out here and they can smooth this area out after I get the excavator out of the way, and we can roll that with the roller and then fine tune it with the plate compactor. It seems like that plate compactor, after you roll it, really tightens things up really good. So just the roller by itself, for whatever reason, you can leave comments in it in the section where the comments are, but it just doesn't make it solid like the plate compactor does. I think the roller just kind of is more for that deep compaction, not for the surface, and the plate compactor is more that top 4 to 6 inch surface layer. So pretty excited. It's a beautiful day. My neighbor just sent me pictures of fishing on the Umpqua River with his beautiful wife, catching a Chinook, and kind of jealous in some ways, but this is pretty darn exciting as well. So I'm gonna have to send him a picture of my progress. So, but excited, get ready to get started, and you're along for the ride. Here's a little how to check your subgrade and how to establish your grade on either a linker rod like this or regular 2x4 or 2x2 or any other kind of grade rod. But first step is you need to know your grade. So right now I have batter boards that are set up and established to grade that I need. So we'll say that that is 0, 0. Okay, it could be a hub somewhere on site. It could be somewhere you have to be given a grade or a finished floor elevation. So for here, I got my laser set up. So I'm going to adjust my eye, just lowering up and down wherever it says is level. So when there's a solid line, that means it is level in line with the laser and the eye. They're level with each other. So that's the first step that I'm going to do. Raising it up and down, find out where my solid line is. And keep in mind you're making sure your linker rod is nice and plumb. Really important. Just a little bit of deviation affects your accuracy. So right now that is pretty much solid. There's our line. Alright, I'll go ahead and turn that off. So you can see from the bottom to here, that means this edge right here on the bottom is set to finished floor. So wherever I could measure down, but a little more difficult. I want to know what this subgrade is set to. So some of the things that I know by looking at the set of plans are, I have a stem wall that's 2 foot. So from finished floor down 2 feet would be the top of footing. The footing is 7 inches. So doing the math, 2 foot plus 7, 2 foot 7. That's what this subgrade needs to be at for the start of the foundation work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this rod set to 2 foot 7 below finished floor. Tightening the top rod so it doesn't adjust up and down, and I'm going to set the elevation. So by loosening this knob here, I can adjust up or down to my elevation. So what I actually want to do is I want to set this grade rod to 2 foot 7. And the reason I want to set this to 2 foot 7 is that when I move this, slide this up to 0, 0 is what this grade should be at. That's going to help me determine how much high or how much low it is. I want when it's 0. I'm going to zero it out. So since this rod is measured in tenths, hundredths of a foot, it's not in inches. You actually got to do the math. So taking a Construction Master calculator, something like this, if you take 2 foot 7 inches and hit convert feet, it'll give me decimal feet. Okay, that's what this rod is in decimal feet. So another way of doing it is you can take 7 divided by 12, gives me 0.58. So it'd be 2.58 feet. So I want to set my rod at 2.58 feet. So big number, we have the red number is 2 for 2 feet. And then down here we have 5.5. I'm actually going to slide it up a little, and the top and bottom of the solid lines is 1/100th of a foot. The 0.5 is 1/10 of a foot. So I need, the bottom of the line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'll slide it up just a little bit so you can see. There's my 2.58 feet. So now I'm gonna lock this rod in so it's set to that grade. Okay, no matter how much I slide this up and down, it's set to grade. See, the numbers don't change, but the rod length increases. So I'm gonna increase this all the way up now to 0. Once it's at 0, that right there is set to 2'7" below finished floor. Okay, I'm gonna tighten my rod so it's not really sliding up and down, and frankly, it's okay if it slides up and down as long as I'm paying attention to my 0. So if I turn this on, the laser's gonna read it, and I'm gonna check to see if I'm in grade. So you can also see the back side of my arrows. So right now what it's saying, I need to go down, so I'm gonna slide my rod down to where I'm good. So right there. So that tells me right now that I am about 7/100ths of a foot too high. I need to go down that much to make it good. So 7/100ths of a foot is roughly, so 1/100th of a foot is about 1/8 of an inch. So 7/100ths, that's about 7/8 of an inch high. That's a little higher than I wanted to do. When I was establishing this grade, I was driving over with a piece of equipment and it was compacting it. So I set it to about 5/8 of an inch high, compacting it, thinking it's gonna go down. But there's gonna be certain areas where I went over with the equipment, went over it with dump trucks, it already compacted it. So not thinking about that, I should have been setting it directly at grade. So my bad on that. So what's gonna end up happening, I'm gonna have to scratch a little of this out because it's too high. But that's how I establish grade and continue checking grade. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to mark areas that are too high with my spray paint, and I'll get on the excavator and scratch those areas out because it's compacted. It's going to be a lot of labor trying to shovel it, so we'll see how it goes. Hope you enjoyed that video. So as expected, everything's a little bit high. Just mainly due to the fact that when I drove over it a whole bunch first, and then trucks, when they were dumping loads of rock, they compacted it. So when I set it high thinking it would compact down, it wasn't enough. So I'm about 1/2 tenth, which is about 5/8 of an inch too high. I should have been setting my grade exactly to grade, and I'd have been a lot closer. Some spots are 1/10, so that's about 1.25 inches too high, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to bring the excavator in here because frankly that's enough gravel that probably would finish that little corner of my driveway. I did go ahead and check my driveway on the right side just a little bit high, left side just a little bit low, because I want basically from that stake right there, that's going to be close to within 4 feet of my garage door. I want that to be level. So a little bit of fine tuning of that, and then time to scratch a little bit out of here. Sometimes you scratch a little bit, you end up doing more harm than good, but I want that gravel for the driveway. So that's how I'm going to approach it. Down there on the bottom, that's pretty much right where I have it. It's 2 grade, it's perfect, just about, and so there's nothing to do there. If I raised everything up 1 or 1/10 or even 1/2 tenth, what that would mean is everything down here would be too low. So it's one or the other. So I decide I'm gonna scratch a little bit out of this. I got a place for it and that sort of thing. So cross my fingers, hopefully that doesn't take too long, because I got other stuff that I want to work on too. Well, you can kind of see, decided to go ahead and take a little bit of that 1/10 to a 1/2 tenth off. So about anywhere from 5/8 of an inch to 1.25 inches. Give me a pretty good sized pile. That for sure will finish out the driveway. So it's kind of nice. But I suspect that some spots I went a little too low. And I want to check, make sure that they're not, you know, full 1/10 low. Maybe a little too much. So I wanted to level it out. Then I'll shoot it again with the laser. See how close I am. And yeah, just wanted you to see kind of the process. So you can, even though you got a big expensive piece of machine, it's real hard to not have to get out and do some good old-fashioned labor. Besides, it's a good workout. I think we should just go ahead and speed it up. Even the oldest can get on the machine. Just takes practice. Make sure when you're starting off, you're going on the turtle mode. You're going slow.
Here?
Just put it right on the fabric. But yeah, you don't have to travel anymore. Just extend out and dump it. Extend it out some. There you go. And down with it to the main boom. There you go. All right, just dump it all right there. I'll rake it out if you just dump it. There you go. Turn around, do it again. Or spin around. Whoa. Hopefully she stays away from that roller. So right now we got Miss Anna Rogers on the roller. She's gonna go rolling over it without it vibrating, and then I'll show her how to vibrate it, go over the same area. So pretty cool. That 5/100ths and 1/10 that I scraped out of the pad area, the upper house pad area, finished this whole area. So I think that probably saved me almost a whole truckload. Pretty awesome. Truck and handle. So make sure you get all of the areas all the way back and around the corner there. I'll move the truck. My 13-year-old and my 7-year-old on the roller. All right, things are coming along. We got this area all compacted and scraped out. We got our string lines back up. And I've been studying the plans. You can see here, I'm gonna put a hub right here. And I'm gonna put another hub right there. And then eventually I'm gonna draw all this because I think it'd be fun. Maybe this week. But, so I got my batter board there, my string line going to the other end. Plumbed everything straight down. I got my hub down here. Okay, and I got my marks on that. And then I have another one down here. It's 54 feet in between the two. plumb down from my string line. And I got another hub right like that. So now what I can do is, if I want to, just lay a string line right down on it, paint that line, and draw out where all my wall lines are. And part of what I really wanted as well is figure out exactly where my step is, and where I was thinking to have this step right here. I'm gonna have to dig a little bit of that dirt back, and I'll show you on the set of plans where I'm gonna have the step. So this right here is the garage. Okay, 24 feet to this wall, so I went 22 feet, and that step is going to be right in between the two right here. Boom, straight across here to here, and then it jogs out because of the natural grade like that. So that's why I planned that. And there's a spread footing here that I wanted to avoid, and I wanted to avoid all this area here where the stairwell is going to go. So as you can see, lots of interior footings. We got our exterior footings and that sort of thing. So more layout, bring the equipment down eventually and scratch that, clean that edge up. Then I'm gonna call this area done. So